negatively by secular society, especially by its elite domains. This shift to the negative world poses a profound challenge to American evangelicals and their churches and institutions. It also helps to explain why there's been so much turmoil and conflict within the evangelical world, and even why some believers have deconstructed their faith. This book is about the shift to the negative world, what that means, and how to live in this new reality. I describe the shifts in the relationship between culture and Christianity over the past 60 years, tracing the fall of Christianity's status from being softly institutionalized in the 1950s to being increasingly seen as a threat to society's institutions today. I also examine the strategies evangelicals used to respond to the various phases of this decline and how those approaches have changed and even deformed under the new pressures of the negative world. I argue that fresh strategies and approaches need to be developed to respond to the new and difficult challenges posed by the negative world. I don't pretend to have all the answers or to provide you with a detailed roadmap for what to do in the negative world. We're in a new territory where there is no map, and it's a constantly changing and evolving landscape. This means then that we will have to explore to find a path through this new environment under conditions of uncertainty and discomfort. I come at this problem from a unique perspective. I spent nearly 2 decades in the technology and management consulting industry, primarily with the global firm Accenture, where I was what today would be called a managing director. In that career, I advised Fortune 500 companies on how to navigate the rapidly changing technology and business landscape. I then took my management consulting skills and applied them to the challenges facing America's urban areas. That led to a second career as an urban policy researcher and journalist, in which I spent several years as a senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, a think tank in New York. My insights have been featured in a wide range of national and global media outlets, including the New York Times, The Guardian, The Wall Street Journal, and The Atlantic. I also have a personal background in very different parts of America and the evangelical world. I grew up in rural southern Indiana, where I attended fundamentalist Pentecostal churches with a culture war orientation in the Assemblies of God denomination. As an adult, I've mostly lived in urban centers like Manhattan and Chicago, and I'm a Presbyterian who has attended churches with a cultural engagement approach. I thus have a foot in 2 of the evangelical camps that seem most in conflict today, and I think I have a good appreciation of both their strengths and limits. Now, I've combined these different parts of my background to focus on helping American evangelicals successfully adapt to the negative world in the 21st century. Management consultants and think tank researchers sit at the intersection of theory, practice, and journalism. We draw on theory, as well as our own research, to help understand the world, then apply and communicate our findings in a compelling way. We create frameworks and tools to help people understand their environment and make decisions about how to act in it. That's what I hope to do with this book, as I provide a framework of the 3 worlds of evangelicalism, the positive, neutral, and negative worlds, that I originally developed in 2014 and later published in the February 2022 print issue of First Things, an influential New York magazine about religion and the public square, founded by Richard John Newhouse. The framework describes the stages of decline in the status of Christianity in America over the past 60 years. I also describe the 3 strategies evangelicals developed in response to this decline: culture war, seeker sensitivity, and cultural engagement. Then I provide a set of considerations and ideas for life in the negative world across 3 dimensions of evangelical life: personal, institutional, and missional. I talk about how to live as Christian individuals and families, how we should structure our churches and institutions, and how we can take advantage of the new opportunities the negative world will open up for mission and evangelism. I don't, however, tell you or your church exactly what to do. Rather, I intend this set of ideas and inputs to be one you can use to make thoughtful and prayerful decisions for yourself. They aren't intended to be the last word on the negative world, but rather a starting point for further exploration. I want to be clear that I am neither a pastor nor a theologian. I don't claim to be an authoritative Bible teacher, although with limited exceptions, I mostly avoid making arguments based on the Bible. And as an evangelical, I of course use Scripture to inform and illustrate my work. But this book is primarily in the genres of cultural analysis and strategy, where I do have significant professional experience. It's about the social, cultural, and political context in which